Hi, my name's Brittney. Thanks for coming out tonight, guys. I actually started off writing my speech about cooking because it's something that I really love. But then when I was trying to brainstorm all these cute little ideas to have the audience connect with me, I realized that I couldn't really talk about cooking without talking about my great-grandmother. Her name was Bernice Viola Chapman Ballard. Has anyone else cooked with their grandma? Isn't it fun? Yeah, grandma, Nini, Nana, whatever you want to call her. The one thing that I always remember about her is her kitchen. It was so full of life, full of food, full of laughs, full of tears, but it was always very warm and welcoming. The kitchen kind of has a very special kind of feel, especially around the holidays. You walk in and it's the holidays because the house is warm. You can smell that food from the kitchen and it's about to go down. Everyone's got their little sweaters on, their nice pants, but not my Granny Bernice. Matter of fact, she'd come out with an apron, a tatted up shirt full of flour and grease, and she'd be like, "Come on now, it's time to eat now." She was crazy like that. But despite all that, nothing was really more warm than watching her bring out dish by dish. And she had this very big smile. A lot of people always remember her as being this super nice woman. But, she was that way in front of people, but I remember her being actually very mean and just very stern, very stubborn. She was actually half Native American and half West Indian, so her parents were one of her parents was an immigrant and stuff. So I think that's where she got that sternness and that desire and that drive. I have no idea where she got that desire to help people from though, but I'm glad she did because she taught me how to help others. And she definitely taught me through cooking. The kitchen actually brought out a different side of my granny. Granny Bernice was always like I said, she was very stern and stubborn. But when she got in the kitchen, she was very funny, very soft. And she sang all these crazy songs, and it's weird because I still remember them to this day. The one I remember the most is, "Look at that doggy in the window." And she would point at this window that she had in the kitchen, but I'd always be really confused because I'm like, there's no dog there. But I remember after she died, it was literally in a commercial on the TV, and I was like, this is a real... Yes, I was like, this is a real song. Yeah, how much could that doggy could be? And I was like, yeah, and I'm like, what? This is a real song. You don't really want to know the words. It's actually a bad song. But yeah, she would do really crazy stuff like that, and she would say all this weird stuff. One time she told me I got that concrete blood, and I have no idea to this day what that even means. And I was like, yeah. And she would also tell me don't go put no free sugar in my coffee now. And I was like, what? I don't even know. But that's how she said 3. And I was like, oh, she wants 3 sugars in her coffee. But I missed that. But it really made me happy to watch her operate in the kitchen. And she lived in this really old house. And matter of fact, she lived in 15 Maverick Street. And if y'all don't know where Maverick Street is, it's right off of Rutledge, across from Hampton Park. So the house is small, the doorway is teeny, and I've always been a tiny person myself, but that doorway was small to me. And I would stand at the doorway and I would watch her. And one day she just came to the doorway and she grabbed my hand and she was like, "Why don't you come in the kitchen with me?" And she let me stir that pot. I probably was stirring a pot of boiling water, but it meant something to me. And from that day on, I just had to be her, kind of like her second hand. She was very meticulous in the way she did things, but she showed me those things step by step. She was so patient with me, which was so opposite to how she was outside of the kitchen. And I was really thankful for that. I'm still very thankful for that to this day. I'm still very thankful for the special birthday meals that she would cook. And her birthday was actually very close to my birthday, so we would share a birthday dessert. and it would be vanilla bean ice cream with vanilla wafers and caramel and cornflakes. Don't ask me where the cornflakes came from. I think it was just one of those things that you had and kind of crunch, make you crunch. Uh, but the kitchen taught me more than just about cooking. It taught me about life. She encouraged me always to try different things. She encouraged me to add a little more, take a little less. Uh, One of the most important things that she taught me was never serve yourself until everyone else is served. So I think that kind of just goes back to helping others and helping people. She died, actually. Um, she walked into the kitchen and walked out of the kitchen and literally laid on the floor and apparently said that like she was ready to go. And I thought that was really weird that she would kind of just walk in the kitchen and walk back out. It was actually 3 months before our birthday, and we actually had the funeral on my cousin's birthday. So it was really hard because she was the matriarch of our family. I really miss her. And I found this quote online, and it said, "Grandmas hold our little tiny little hands for a little while, but our hearts forever." And I felt like it really applied to me because of the very last two memories that I had of her was she was just kind of slipping in and out of where she was. And I remember her eating this jar of peanut butter. And I was like, whoa, why are you eating the peanut butter out of the jar? So I kind of like went to go grab it from her, and she grabbed my hand so hard and she dug her nails into my skin. She looked me dead in my eyes. She had no clue who I was. And when she came to, she was like, oh, Kim, what are you doing here? And Kim is actually my mom, but I got it all the time, so it didn't really faze me at the time. But I kind of wished that I had valued that moment. And at Christmas time, because she died right after the New Year, but at Christmas time, I remember her being very distant. I think we were all kind of strangers to her. And I remember her putting on, someone had got her some new house slippers because she desperately needed some new house slippers. And she did what she usually did, like, thank you, baby. And she put them on and she walked down that hallway and just sat in complete darkness for the rest of the day, away from everyone, away from the kitchen. And I remember her saying one thing. She said, I don't feel like cooking today. But cooking means so much to me because of what I learned from her, how I learned it, and it feels good. It makes me want to help others and encourage others.